So, with a perfect 6-0 record, Jack Grant from the Fight Ministry, 6'1", 22 years of age. And Frank, when you talk about well-rounded, of his 6 victories, 3 KOs, 3 submissions, that's well-rounded.
Yeah, all-rounder. And you know, you ask him, like, what's your fighting style? And everyone has a different name for their fighting style, but he really is a true freestyler. He really can do the game any way he wants to. However he wants to win this fight, do this fight, he can put it together. The biggest thing I had, though, is I saw him yesterday in the elevator, he was trying to make weight, and he looked like death won't go over. He looked like he had fallen apart. And he made a joke, oh, Tristan's talking about me tomorrow, you know, doing a commentating about how bad I looked before winning. I'm like, yeah, you look like complete crap. Well, how do you feel? He's like, oh, dude, I feel horrible. Dude, lie to me. If you know what I'm talking about, you lie to me. At least tell me, oh, no, I feel great. It's fine. It's just, you know, it's just how I look because I'm cutting a lot of weight.
Well, here's another thing, Frank, with that in mind. He's only been into round 2 once. So if you're cutting weight in this sort of shape, he's never been into round 2 more than once.
And cutting weight is an art form as much as boxing and punching and everything else. He is incredible with how he battles and how he spaces. But to cut weight the way he cuts weight, you have to be in incredible shape to be able to recover by the next day. To be able to do it again and be able to fight the next day with full energy like he does. He's got it down to a complete straight art form. But absolutely, if I was a betting man, I definitely would not have be bet on him at all tonight.
Here comes his opponent, Jefferson George, 24 years of age, Shadow Demon Blaximus from the Icon BJJ. And again, a man that we've seen on a number of occasions. He was at BAMMA 14, which he's lost with that first round stoppage, where the doctor had to stop it, but he won at BAMMA 13. And we both agree that he's a better fighter than his record, which is 3-2.
He's faced, like you said, Jefferson does a great job of making these guys step up every time they step in the cage. And it's happened to him before in the past where he got stepped up in a tougher competition. He's way better than his record shows you. He's a guy that really understands the fullness of the game, but has a problem pushing through sometimes the harder opponents. He has a mental block sometimes, getting through when he gets pushed in a little tougher and things are getting close. He gets a little freaked out a little bit, stylistically wise. So if he learns that patience, learns that timing, his record at 3-2 could very easily be 5-0 or 4-1. It's very simple. That close. He's on the cusp of either side. He just needs a little bit more time training, a little more time of actual live action to get himself prepared in that space.
Well, his win at BAMMA 13 was against Mariusz Marzek with a rear naked in round 2, and I think he's going to need something like that again, because when we talked about the boxing power of Jack Grant, he's KO'd Jason Ball. Again, very formidable at domestic level and known as a very good boxer. Jason Ball has boxed properly, and he was KO'd by Jack. So, weight issues aside, Jefferson's going to have to be very careful.
He's going to have to watch out the entire time. And really, Jefferson, first time he gets hit hard, he's going to open up his game and kind of get that wider defense stance and get a kind of a more of a haymaker power stance, which is not going to fare well for him.
This bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the BAMMA lightweight division. Introducing first, the man standing to my left and fighting out of the red corner. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall and weighed in at an even 153 pounds. He is a freestyle fighter. His record perfect at 6-0, fighting out of Grimsby, England, Jack Grant. The opposition comes in the form of the man standing across the cage to my right and fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. His official weight 154 and 3/4 pounds. He is a striker with a record of 3 victories opposite 2 defeats. Fighting out of Luton, England, by way of Dominica, Jefferson George. Your referee, Mark Woodard.
So as they prepare to go into action, we've got the man whose 3 victories have come by submission against a man who has 3 submissions and 3 KOs. So if you're Jefferson George and you look at that record, what do you do for him?
you have to step yourself back a little bit and go, what does his submissions look like? Really look at the tape hard. What does his knockouts look like? How did he catch him? Is he knocking the guy out as he's moving forward? Is he knocking the guy out as he's moving backward?
Oh, beautiful 360 there from Jefferson George. He's not lacking confidence from BAMMA 14, that's for certain. Jumping knee as well, Frank. What a start.
Athletic. The spinning, the 360 spinning kick, both kicks landed, but slapping kicks, not much damage, but definitely winning the judges over, winning the crowd over, and obviously Jack doing the right position. This guy's too fast for me right now. He's too athletic. Let me grab a hold of him, slow him down, and see what I can adjust. Plus, I've submitted guys before, so I'm okay in this position. It's not like I'm a striker trying to figure this game out. I know what I'm doing in here, so I'm okay for right now.
This is what I feel is the problem for Jefferson George. He's almost got to fight the perfect fight game because, as you said, wherever they go, Jack is going to be comfortable.
He's rolling in for a knee bar, but he got himself caught up. Now he's only got one leg and no legs in. He's in a bad position. He rolled into position for a knee bar and missed it entirely. Got stepped out of it. Did a good job of getting himself back up to his feet, but he's in a lot of danger. The Jack could have sat down on his legs and punched him right in the face and held him there in a position where he couldn't move.
Oh, he's a tall man, and you can see those knees, and Jefferson trying to defend them with his right hand there. And it's going to, if it goes the round, it's going to be a long night for Jefferson, as we said, because when you've got a fighter that's happy on the ground, he's dangerous and explosive upright. This is not where you want to be.
Jesse's looking for Kimura, but he's not going to be able to break the grip. Dropped him right on his head, perfect suplex. Puts him right in the back of his neck.
Explosive power.
Right to a heel hook. Twisting heel hook.
Oh, George got out of it. Yeah. And then they trade. What an explosive start. But for me, Frank, the thing here is, as you said, two things. One, we know Jack doesn't go into round two often. But now, with what you said about yesterday, that's even more exciting for me, because if he's asked to go for the first time in his career into the second time when he's had to cut weight.
Yeah. Now let's see how he recovers. That's part of the problem too, is that if you never go into deep waters and you cut weight, and you cut a lot of weight, and you think you're fully recovered, but you're not. So now all of a sudden you're fully recovered in the first round. You don't never get out of the first round. You think you're fully recovered. You think you've come back from that. Now you go to the second round, all of a sudden, instead of being, whatever, half as tired, you're 100% tired. Your body's completely shut down on you now, and now you realize, oh, it's the way I cut weight.
Oh, big
left
and rights from Jefferson George. Jack took them well.
Jefferson every time ends up with his head between his legs, but doesn't do anything from here. I thought he was rolling to a knee bar before. That time again, he didn't dig for a knee bar either. He just kind of rolled over into it, put his legs up, and sat still.
And looking on the opposite side of the coin, if you're Jack, knowing what we know, do you still go for that? Do you go all out for that first round stoppage? Do you go for break?
Yeah, I do. I would for sure. Yeah, if I'm Jack, I'm for sure going to try to finish it off. Just because you can not only do you physically break an opponent, if round doesn't end. We're assuming he gets in the second round. Round doesn't end. You're physically broken because you gave all that energy, but also too you've mentally broken now. You realize, oh my God, this guy's in so much better shape than me. He comes so much harder. How can I do it? You'll actually find spaces to rest and recover throughout the second round.
Now, in terms of scoring this opening round with just about a minute left, they've both really had the moments, haven't they?
Yeah, if the round ended right now, you have to give it to Jack just because the last guy on top. But up to now, it's pretty even. If Jefferson gets up in the next minute and has another exchange, it's going to be difficult to judge this round.
But you can see Jack's going for his back now. I agree with you. I think in the back of his mind,
that's it. It's underneath his chin. He's got underneath his chin. He's trying to dig it out right now. If he can get see Jefferson slid out.
Because for me, a first round finish would be perfect now, in my mind.
Yeah, and he writes the game in the elevator too. I think hopefully he listened to it and heard it. He might have been so dehydrated he didn't hear it. But if he heard my advice, he'd definitely be looking for the first round finish right now.
But if he doesn't, I still feel that, as you said, especially with the way this last minute and a half's going, he's taken the first round.
Yeah. We got about 20 seconds left for this first round. He's definitely taking his first round at this point. Even if Jefferson gets up at this point and has some kind of exchange at the very end of the round, Jack still wins his first round.
Well, they're both looking to throw some leather, neither really through cleanly. And here's the last 10 seconds, so it looks like it will go into a second. If only the second time in Jack Grant's career, but we will have him taking that first.
Yeah, definitely. I like the way Jack Grant came through this. Good job, good position. I would say had more time on top, controlled the pace a little bit better. Slight favor, you gotta give it to him 10-9. Big suplex right here, coming in, steps in, picks him up, puts him right on his back. Jefferson did a good job of landing. From my position, it looked like it was really bad. You can see me off there in the corner. I thought I was in the backside. I thought he got landed on the top of his head. But actually in the replay now, I see he landed on the back of his head and tucked his chin underneath. Nice job by Jefferson to survive. And then right there, Jack throwing him underneath. And to me, it looks like every time he goes under, Jefferson's trying to tuck his head underneath and looking for a knee bar, looking for a reverse triangle, but doesn't really hunt for anything. It's almost like a safety position for him.
And yet, if we look at it, he started so explosively, didn't he? And flamboyantly as well.
Amazing. Series of kicks and flying knees in the very beginning of the first round. And at the end of it, they look like they scored a lot for the judges, but it doesn't do them any good.
From those exchanges I saw, though, one thing that does interest me about Jack is, although he's obviously a good puncher, he holds his hands very, very low.
And as a result, he's taken 3 punches to the side of the head during this first portion of the second round. And he immediately ties up to try to wrestle again because he did so well the first time with it.
And Jefferson, you wonder about his tactics, Frank, because as we said, he had a good opening to the round, but I just want to pick up on what you said afterwards. Is when it went to ground, Jefferson didn't seem as confident, did he?
No, it's a weird kind of, like he jumps into position, like he's not battling and all of a sudden gets thrown down to the ground and then he doesn't know what he's doing. He jumps into a position, puts his legs up like he's looking for a triangle, puts his legs up like he's looking for a knee bar, and then stops moving.
And this is why it's weird for me, because all his wins have been way of submission.
It's very strange the way he's doing things underneath right now. I don't know, maybe Jack is just stuffing him or has an ability on him that is not allowing Jefferson to move like he should.
Oh, you see that kick, Frank? He went for the leg, and Jack turned and hit him clean in the face with the sole of the foot.
Tricks and tactics.
And you heard the crowd response. They really warmed to that.
Yeah, plus you're not only trying to sell the crowd, because the crowd can sell the judges, but trying to sell the judges themselves as well, just in case.
And this is where you start to worry for Jack, because we know how much energy this takes out of someone. They've been tied up for a lot of this second round. And you'd think that maybe Jefferson would have been the stronger.
Yeah, good reversal though by Jack. He got himself back on top again. Thrown, rethrown, in a good position, ends up back on top. Good ability, good hip motion.
Now, we've looked at Jack quite a lot during this fight, but as we said, knowing that Jefferson's wins have come by submission, what is he doing wrong at the moment? Because he hasn't really had his moments. As you said, he had 2 opportunities that, to be honest, he squandered.
He put in a nice, he's rotating now much nicer. He's trying to lock himself in. He's doing a cross grab on the top, trying to lock down that other leg, but it's not putting him in any kind of position for submission at this point. He basically just lock down, slow down tactics. Jefferson's just not moving his hips enough. Now he's rotating out into the knee bar, or an arm bar rather. Got the knee cut underneath, he's crossed over. Good job by Jack to rotate himself out, didn't panic.
Well, this is more that you'd expect from Jefferson. That we'd be expecting this sort of
triangle, right to the triangle. Oh no, he's got an Umaplata triangle. Sorry, he missed the, he pulled the arm out in the triangle.
But it's like he's suddenly woken up, isn't it?
It was weird, like he was so focused on striking the first round, he didn't do anything on the bottom. Now all of a sudden, all he can think about is bottom game.
And Jack open-mouthed in front of us. I don't want to make too much, as we said, of the weight cutting, but really you can see getting his breath there right in front of our commentary position.
Nice Darce choke, trying to rotate himself into it. Gonna hit the leg though if he wants to finish. You have to step over that top leg right there. Jeff's doing a great job of countering, getting himself back straight again. Back to north-south position. Takes the Darce choke off. Oh, now he's got he had a choke there. Jefferson had a choke there if he would have sunk it in.
But he's still got good control, hasn't he, at the moment?
Nice side control. Controlling the using his head to control the other arm, the underarm. Put himself in and under, but he's got to get himself in a position where he can start striking.
Yes, because we're coming into the last minute. And I feel Jefferson George had a lot more of this round. I find this round far more difficult for the judges.
Yeah, both guys are getting on top. Both guys are having their position changes. It's tough to say who's getting what in a better position, who's controlling more, because it's happening so frequently. Wow, good position change by Jefferson. Wow, nice job.
And as you said so many times, it catches the judges out when it's late in the round. Judges are only human as well, aren't they? You see that last 30 seconds there when it's close, and it's Jefferson doing this sort of thing. This could make it 1-1 if he keeps it like this.
Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler. Sugar Ray Leonard changed how judging is viewed by knowing all they had to do is fight the last 4 seconds every round and win the fight. And I'd still rewatch that fight. Watch as a child, I rewatch that fight now. Hagler won that fight if you look at the whole round. But judges are human.
And in some ways it broke Marvin because he never forgave Sugar Ray, he never forgave the judges.
No, he retired after that and quit, moved to Italy. He was done. He's out of it. And now Jefferson's, right now, Jefferson's in the mind of the judges. He's got this locked in, he's got this tight. If I'm a judge, you're looking at like, oh, geez, Jack just barely got out of that round. If there was 30 more seconds, he might have been caught up in it. So now I got it. Now I have it personally from the commentating table. I have it 1 round apiece. So now the third round is going to make this the deciding factor. Who's got more energy? Who shows us more? Who can win this round? Nice tight takedown, tries to, but he was too low. His head was too low. He gets kicked in the face for it. If you're going to do a takedown like that, you can't slide yourself down the leg. You have to keep your shoulder up high by the hip.
Now this is where I feel that, as we said, Jefferson suddenly came alive, didn't he?
He woke right to get to that position, about 3-4 seconds before the replay started. In the live fight, that's when Jefferson woke up. And from here on in, he exchanges positions, changes, rotates, looks for something else. Always looking for that next submission position, and uses this as a great job. This is a great position change. Getting himself out of the guillotine choke, flipping him over, and getting back on top.
And for the first time in his career, Jack Grant now goes into the third round. And you just wonder psychologically who's got the ascendancy now. For me, if I was a betting man, I'd be saying Jefferson should be pretty confident.
Well, you can see how he's backing off. They're slowing down now. Jefferson is happy. He's got the same amount of energy he had in the second round, and Grant is already starting to step backwards. He's already thinking about what he's going to do next.
And you saw what he's going to do next. He's relying on that power now, but when he's boxing, he holds his hands like an old-fashioned bare-knuckle pugilist.
Yeah, he does. He does. It's very strange to me because he's so tall. Maybe it's because he's used to getting...
Well, he shipped a right hook there. And I think we're right, Frank. I think mentally the ascendancy is definitely with Jefferson.
Why Jefferson did that, I have no idea. He jumped on his back to put himself in the bottom position. That was a mistake, if I've ever seen one, to be in that kind of position. He's winning the stand-up game, starting to take advantage of it, and now gives Grant a chance to recover.
Very bizarre. Bizarre indeed.
Sometimes being athletic is no good. He wanted to have a high flashy move in that position. Being an entertainer rather, not athletic. He's being entertained in that position to have a high flashy move, and it costs him now. We could be decisively winning this round. He's now in a position where he's losing the round if the round were to end right now.
Especially with the fight that's so close, and you've worked so hard to bring it round in the second round.
He's got to get himself back on top in some position, but Grant's doing a good job of resting and relaxing, taking his time, getting his breath back.
So, from a winning position, Jefferson George has got it all to do again. But you did mention before, when we were looking at his record, certain key moments in the fight when we looked at it being 3-2.
Yeah, and he's a guy that's, like I said, he could be 5-0. He's always right there. He's right on the cusp of it. And just sometimes coming in the back end of a bad decision, a bad beat.
And we clearly saw one of those bad decisions. He's paying for it now.
He's just being too athletic sometimes. Just too much of an entertainer, jumping over the top. And now he's taking a beating, and he's having to use a lot more energy than he needed to if he'd stayed up on top.
But also it closes that there was beginning to see daylight, weren't we? And the judges, you could feel, were beginning to see daylight. And now that gap's been totally closed again. And if anything, you're going to be looking at Jack Grant for those opening 2.5 minutes.
Nice elbows. And Grant before would just sit up and start punching. He's so tired now, he's not able to do that. And he has his arm wrapped up.
Yes, as we said before, the first time in the third round. Despite anything else, this is still virgin territory for him, even if he was super fit and hadn't had to cut weight. This is still somewhere he's never been before.
It's tough first time coming to the third round. It's always a little more daunting. You're not sure how your body's going to react. You're not sure you're going to have the energy and the ability to carry through.
And this is where I think with MMA it's so exciting because it's that 5-minute round as well. You know, we used to, in the old days, we used to say, how did boxers do 3 minutes? Incredible. And now, you know, he's going into his third round, which is a 5-minute round. Well, George still trying to show that he's light on his toes, but again, it's still Jack coming forward.
Jack hit 3 punches right there. He's still coming. Oh, jeez. Nice big double leg takedown. Now he comes from Jack, grabbing a hold of Jefferson's head and trying to lock on. Jefferson used it to his advantage.
This third round, Frank, has been so back and forward, and there's still just under 1.5 minutes now. And suddenly, just when you think you see Jack Grant worked his way so hard to get back in it, and we said about the flamboyance of Jefferson sort of working against him, it worked for him then.
It's strange. Jefferson has a weird style too, because he puts himself in a position to end up back on the bottom of it. He puts himself in a spot to get swept, and he could have taken his back, but instead of fighting for his back, he just concedes. He gives up gives up going underneath the guy.
Yes, it's frustrating sometimes watching Jefferson George fight. We've seen a number of them, but again, we talked about the entertainment value. He's never predictable. No, I think Jack's recovered well again, and full credit to him for the last 30 seconds. We talked about it before. If I'm a judge, and maybe possibly at this precise moment in time, thinking 2 rounds to 1 to the red corner.
Yeah, I mean, I could absolutely see that. It's because Jefferson really, more so Jefferson making mistakes and shifting his position, more so than Jack forcing him into those positions. But Jack is going to be able to take advantage of it.
You know, there's, as I said, very tired. The punch is not coming from Butcher, but it is the last 10. And again, it is Jack Grant controlling that position. And I think this could be vital in this round.
I gotta believe that Grant won that fight. I have to believe that he won 2 rounds to 1, first round and third round.
Well, I think it's the first time tonight we've gone to the judges, Frank, and we've said it's going to be in favour of the red corner. So this is amazing, and this is one of the reasons we felt that Jack took this over his round.
He did such a good job. He had complete control, stayed in position, and even when he was getting crushed in the corners, he backed off a little bit, found a space, and then did a good job of controlling the entire pace of the first round. He just has that ability coming through the first round. The second round, this is at the very end, but this is where Jefferson starts taking over and he starts having the ability. He starts sweeping, gets back on top, looking for arm bars, looking for position, and then he just knows what to do now. Jefferson just knows what he's going to do. Now, every time that Jack came forward, Jefferson hit him.
And this is the big slam, isn't it?
But he couldn't hit him hard enough to back him off, and then all of a sudden, Grant steps over his head, grabs a hold of his head, and tries to hold on, ends up getting thrown out of the ground. Now, at this point, Jefferson could have taken over the round. He could have won the fight at this point, so taking over the round. But for some reason, anytime there's a slight position change, he jumps over, and that's all he does. He comes over, he dumps on the side, and it's just incredible how Jefferson kind of concedes position to go to the bottom, but then doesn't really have a game plan once he's there.
Yeah, it could be vital. As you said, that slam for me was the pivotal moment of the round. And if after that he'd have stayed in position, but this is going to be a tough one for the judges from here.
It's so tough, especially after seeing a big slam like that in the middle of the round. And you're always going to remember that slam during the entire for the rest of the round. Then all of a sudden, you get to the bottom and you get to the back end of it. You're not sure who's going to win.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards for the final decision. Kevin Cable scores the bout 29-28 for George. Garth Harriman scores the bout 29-28 for Grant. Judge Andy Haig scores this bout 29-28 in favor of your winner by split decision, Jefferson.
How they viewed that third round, in fact. Most definitely.
He had to go off that big slam, and that's what he wanted the most of. And